My rich boyfriend called me a leech after he offered to pay my rent. When my lease was ending, I had nowhere to go. I was in grad school full-time, doing a mandatory unpaid internship 3 days a week and classes the other 2. No time for a job, no income. My mom helps me out with a Metro card and healthcare, but everything else is loans. Life is exhausting. 12 hours a day on trains, in class, doing fieldwork, writing papers, barely surviving. Back then, I was crashing at my boyfriend's place a lot because my own apartment had a roach infestation. We'd been together 3 years, and when my lease ran out, he said, "Why don't you just move in with me?" I told him I couldn't afford anything remotely close to his rent. I wanted to find a room somewhere cheaper in Queens or Brooklyn, maybe even live with roommates, but he said, "Don't worry about it. I'll cover the rent until you finish school. Once you start working, we'll split it based on our income." He was making over $200K a year, said it didn't matter, that we were a team, so I gave up my plan and moved into his $5,000 a month luxury high-rise in Manhattan. Fast forward a few months and out of nowhere, he changes. Starts making little comments about how I don't contribute financially. Then one day he straight up asked me to pay half the rent, $2,500 a month. I just stared at him. I reminded him he offered. He insisted. I told him, "You know I can't afford that. I literally have no income right now." And he goes, "Yeah, well, I've been talking to my friends and they think it's weird. You're kind of leeching off me." Leeching. After he begged me to move in. After I gave up the cheaper apartment I wanted, I was stunned, hurt, furious. I said, "Then maybe you should be with someone in your tax bracket, someone who won't leech off your money." And I left. Stayed at a friend's place for a few days while I figured out what the hell to do. I called my mom and she offered to help with rent. $800 was her max. I spent a week scouring listings and finally found a tiny room in Queens for $800. It's above a restaurant. No AC. There've been rats. It's not ideal, but it's mine. I signed the lease and started texting the new roommates and landlord. When I told my boyfriend, he panicked. Suddenly it was, "Wait, if $800 is all you can afford, just give me that. I don't want you to leave." But I wasn't stupid. Today it's $800, tomorrow it's $1,500, then I'm back to being a leech. I told him I'm not doing this again. I want control over my own life. No strings, no guilt. Let's be real. He lived in that condo alone for years before I ever moved in. He could easily afford it. This wasn't about money. It was about optics. His friends got in his head and made him feel like a sugar daddy when he was the one who offered in the first place. It wasn't until they started calling me a gold digger that he suddenly changed his mind. Now some of our mutual friends say I'm being dramatic, that I should have just paid what I could and stayed. But that's easy to say when you're not the one being made to feel like a burden in your own home. So yeah, I dumped him, blocked all his loudmouth friends too. My friends blocked him on my behalf when he tried contacting me through them. I'm done. I'm exhausted, but I feel free. I'd rather sleep next to rats in Queens than ever be made to feel like I'm worth less because I'm broke. I'll finish my degree. I'll get my license. I'll build my own life. No man's ever gonna hold rent over my head again.